Gotta tell you, man, I'm under the there is no question. There is no question. People now in the city of Philadelphia do not do their job in the media. They just don't do their job in the media. Community access to media, Jordan Mulatto. I don't really want to even know what the award stands for, or I don't even want to know what the award means. I personally just want a reporter one day, and I'm not talking John. John does a great job every day. He's in the pit talking to the coordinators or the head coach. By the way, our 4 hours are powered by our friends at BetUS. Folks, make sure you check out their website. Of course, we started off with big sales. And I'm just saying, man, this is why our show, and I mean with you, is the fastest viewed show in all of Philadelphia and on YouTube. It's because it's not that I'm great. It's the only place where you can actually talk and nobody give a fuck what's going on. It's ridiculous, man. I mean, Bob Lang. I mean, the guy, honest to God, the guy worked at Estee Lauder before he got the NFL gig. You know that, right? It was some sort of like beauty place that he worked back in the day. You know that, right? This guy was like, he worked at Estee. My aunt worked at Estee Lauder for years. He worked at Estee Lauder. Just so if you want some sort of beauty place, I was told. Holy cow, man. I mean, hey, all good. No doubt. Hey, and please, can I have something else? We're going on the air here. I didn't ask Xander this question prior to us going on the air. Is Hurts out of protocol yet? Is he out of protocol? Has he come out of protocol? What the fuck is the big deal here? Dude, there is no mystery. He's playing. Why are you playing a game with the concussion protocol? Why are you doing that? He's playing Sunday. Everybody knows this. Nobody's worried about it. Why are they dicking around with it? Okay, why are they dicking around with that? What's the point? Just stupid shit, man. I mean it. It's like a kid's game. They do the dumbest shit on the planet, and no one buys it. It's competitive edge. This is not competitive edge. Are you kidding me, man? I mean, look at what's his name over here. Bruce goes, let it go. What do you mean fucking let it go? It's Wednesday. It's Tuesday. Well, still, he can't get out of concussion protocol until he practices. Come on, man. You can't answer questions about it in today's press conference. Everyone knows the guy's playing. How dumb can you get, man? How dumb can you get? By the way, the legendary Wayne Larrivee will join us at 4:30. The voice, he is the Merrill Reese of the Green Bay Packers. They've had so many legendary broadcasters for the Green Bay Packers. Ray Scott, some of you probably never heard the name. At one time, there were two voices in the National Football League. One was John Facenda, and the other one was Ray Scott. And Wayne Larrivee happens to be one of the broadcasters that follows down that line, and he's in that Merrill Reese for that organization and for their fans. He's in that line, so Wayne Larrivee will join us at 4:30. We're also trying to do our best to get Eric Allen on today. So either today or tomorrow, he's got Raider obligations, and we're hoping to get Eric Allen on today. Do me a favor, please hit the like button. I love that Green Bay Packer organization. You know, there's things in the NFL that show you about stability and how you win and how you remain successful. You know, you guys talk about the success that you've had, and it's good success. It's not great, but it's really good success. It borderlines great. The Eagles borderline great. Okay? They borderline it. I mean, you got to win championships to validate it, though. Okay? And the Packers, obviously, have won, I think, Lombardi won 2, Holmgren won 1, and McCarthy, he won 1. So the Packers have won 4. Okay? But here's one of the greatest statistics. This goes right down the line of what the Steelers do with their three head coaches. Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and now Mike Tomlin. Since 1969, they've only had 3 head coaches in that building in Pittsburgh, which is remarkable. It's stability. It's why they got 6 Super Bowl rings. In Green Bay, in the last 31 years, I've brought this stat up to you before. This is insane. In the last 31 years, the Green Bay Packers have had 3 guys take 97% of the snaps. Brett Favre was there for 16 starting years. Rodgers was there 18 years, but 15 starting. And now Love with 2. That's 31 years of 3 quarterbacks. They get it right, man. They get that quarterback position right. That is a telling thing. Green Bay, when they draft you, you're their starter. And they're expecting you. They're expecting you to be a player that's going to take the baton from these other guys. Can you imagine? How about this? Andres goes and says, how many Super Bowls? More than you. Over the same period of time. More than you. I knew that was going to pop up. How many Super Bowls? More than the Eagles. Okay? More than you. During the Jeffrey Lurie time, he's owned the team 30 years. Well, they got 2 Super Bowl wins. You got 1. So before you start barking, take a look at yourselves. Okay? And on top of that, you got those 2 quarterbacks are all Hall of Famers. They develop Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and they do win a Super Bowl. Okay? And they do win a Super Bowl. All right. It's going to be a pretty interesting ball game. I can't wait for this thing here. I was asked the question prior to going on the air. Oh, by the way, my final top 10 quarterback list for the regular season. MVP. This is for the NFL alumni, NFL honors. We'll do this. My top 10 NFL teams for the regular season. We will do that as well. Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore both spoke to the media. Okay? Let me ask you this question here. Out of the gate here. The Philadelphia Eagles are now the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th favorite team to win the Super Bowl. Detroit, according to ESPN Football Power Index, 25.8% chance. The Ravens are 2 at 13.8. Kansas City is 12.3. Buffalo is 9.7. And the Philadelphia Eagles come in at 5th at 8.4. One of the reasons is clear to me. It's the quarterback. If you had a better quarterback, you'd probably be the ultimate favorite. If you had a better, there's nothing on that team. Get this. Let's take a look at that power ranking again. Okay? Take a look at the power ranking again. Does Detroit have a better roster than Philly? It's close, but no. Okay? It's close, but no. Does Baltimore have a better roster than Philly? No. Does Kansas City have a better roster than Philly? No. Does Buffalo have a better roster than Philly? No. What's the one common denominator then? Every one of those other teams has a better quarterback. I've had this conversation with Xander before. Would you rather have a better quarterback or a better roster? Would you rather have the roster? You had the better roster a couple of years ago and got beat by the better quarterback. You got beat by the better quarterback. Same thing with San Francisco a year ago. I think having the better roster doesn't necessarily mean you win Super Bowls. Not if you don't have the better quarterback. Nick Foles had a special moment. And by the way, he had a special run in the playoffs. You've got to get production out of that quarterback if you're going to win Super Bowls. By the way, that index isn't my index. The only reason that the Eagles, I think the Eagles should be probably the favorite to win it, but they're not. Why? Because they're quarterback. This all comes down to the quarterback and whether or not he's good enough to win a Super Bowl. Sills, he got there a couple of years ago. I get it. I get it. I don't think that guy, and Xander's right. You know what the roster does? The roster affords him not to have to play great every day and every game. Lamar has to play great. Allen has to play great. Okay? Mahomes has to play great. Goff, not so much, but he does. The only guy that doesn't have to play great is in Philly. By the way, this isn't really an indictment. And I have people say this all the time to me. Seals, you hate Hurts. No, this has nothing to do with Jalen Hurts. This is to do with building a football team and getting the maximum out of your roster. I could care less about Jalen Hurts as a human being. I don't care. I don't care he's a good guy. I don't care he's this. Right now, this time of the year, I don't care what he does. I don't care that he does things in the community. I'm not talking about community man or Walter Payton man of the year. I'm talking about winning a Super Bowl. I could care less about that shit. That it's no bearing on winning. I had a guy tweet me a couple of minutes ago. Sills, Eagles have won a lot. I go, what have you won? Okay, again, I really don't care about him personally. I have no caring really about any of these guys. I could care less about Josh Allen personally. I could care less. That kind of Lamar because he's a South Florida kid. I know a lot of people that coached him. I like him. I've spoken to him. I've spoken with him. I like Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's a friend. But when it gets down to it, I don't really care. You know, I'm not close to players for a reason, and I'm not close to certain coaches for a reason. You know why? You got to be critical sometimes of people. You lose a lot of friends when you're like that. I don't really care. This comes down to this. You have every component. And I'll make a point to you also here on this. If Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Okay? I'm wrong. If that guy wins the Super Bowl, I'll be completely wrong in this. That the 29-03 and the 18 touchdowns never mattered. The passing game being 30th never mattered. The fact that he misses wide open receivers and he's late on throws, takes a ton of sacks, won't matter if he wins it. So right now, we're in a race. Who will be right? You or me? All the winning, 14-3, right now it's irrelevant. You're a wild card team. Doesn't really matter now. That record is irrelevant. Now, I say that with an asterisk. If Detroit gets beat, it does matter. Because then the NFC Championship game is in Philly. It will matter then. But today, January 7th, it doesn't matter. You're a wild card team. You're playing wild card weekend. Okay? This is my favorite type of sports talk. You're right or I'm wrong. All the things that I said. Sills, you said the Eagles would win 9 games. I did. I didn't think their defense would be as good. And I thought your offense would be rocky and bumpy this year. And I said that turned out to be true, actually. The only thing not rocky about it was the run game. Pass game was rocky all year. I wasn't really wrong about my comments about Kellen Moore being the wrong coordinator for Hurts. He might be the right coordinator for the team, but he is the wrong coordinator for Jalen. Is that fair? You won 14 games. Not really needing a passing game this year. 2903 are high school numbers. Jalen Hurts is high school football numbers. You really didn't need the guy. So, this is my favorite type of sports. I have said all these things. It built up all these receipts. Never staying in the middle of anything. And here we are on a Tuesday. I'm either going to be right or you're going to be. I don't like grading on a bell curve. This is how I've done my job for 35 years. Either we built this all up right here. We're days away now. We're days away. I never said 7 wins. I said it, and I said this right before the start of the season. I'm not going to fucking go over this again. It's on tape. I picked 9 wins. I upped it before the season started to 9. Okay? Yeah. It's a lie. So you won 10, 11, 12. You won 4 more games. Okay. I said the Commanders would win the East. They came up 2 games shy. It's all right. They're in the playoffs. First time in over 20 years. Good for them. Okay? Get this right here. And see what this guy says? Where is this now? Where is this? Here we go. Sills has been wrong all season. I never wasn't wrong about your offense. At all, and your quarterback. Was wrong about Barkley because he stunk in New York. And guess what, Cypher? What are you right about? The regular season? I'll tell you what, I've never seen more Eagle fans celebrate a regular season more, this generation of people that follow the team, more so than going after the ultimate prize. This guy right here, man, celebrates mediocrity. Well, Sills, our record's not mediocre. No, but your postseason record is. Under your owner, he's 500, I think. He's won more postseason wins than anybody in the NFC East. He's 17-17. Okay. Congratulations for doing your job. Get this, C25, he just wins. Wins what? Exactly what does he win? C25, this guy. What exactly does Jalen Hurts win? What has he won? An SEC title. Okay. It's a big accomplishment. Okay. How many? What does he win? Hurts hate? Jalen Hurts has nothing to do with it. Just asking, what has he won? You brought it up. Flexen, thank you, brother. Still said 9 wins max, like me at the start of the season. I don't do that, Flexen. You know people here. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yes, an NFC title. Him and Jimmy Garoppolo could sit around the fireside and have a fireside chat one day about winning an NFC title. Him and Colin Kaepernick and Jimmy Garoppolo could have a get-together and a reunion of quarterbacks that have won NFC titles in the last couple of years. Yeah, Colin Kaepernick and Garoppolo and Hurts can all talk about the great NFC championships that they won. Yeah, sure. Okay? Shit, Allen ain't one dick either. He's going to win the MVP. Yeah. That's what happens when you got to carry a football team on your back. How you doing? So wait a minute. Am I wrong when I said this? Shit, ESPN came out with your odds here. What? Really, Detroit? How do you guys feel about Detroit being favored over you to win the Super Bowl? Do I believe that? Okay. Do I believe that? I don't know if I believe that. Do I think they're that much of a favorite to win the Super Bowl? Hey, by the way, I picked them to win it. Do I think they're that much better than Philly? I don't. If anything, shouldn't Philly be second in these power rankings? Philly beat Baltimore. In the last 2 years, Philly's beaten every one of these teams. Haven't they? Right? Last 3 years, they've beaten Detroit. Hurts is beating wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Hurts is beating every one of these fucking teams. Detroit, Baltimore, Kansas City, and Buffalo. And they're the fifth favorite? I thought you guys were the best. Dude, and I'll say this to you about Detroit. Hey, so like Detroit, with all their great playoff experience, how do you think they're going to play in the postseason? I do think that NFC Championship disaster of a year ago is going to help them. Baltimore's got all the pressure here. Hey, that's a great question before we move on. Of these top 5 teams, who has the most pressure? Goff, Lamar, Mahomes, Allen, or Hurts? Jared Goff doesn't have any pressure. He's playing with house money. Jared Goff was sent to Detroit as a stopgap guy, and he's turned out to be the guy. Okay? I mean, he's turned out to be the guy. Here's my issue with Hurts. The Eagles could have started the third-string quarterback the entire season and got the same result. I say better. Like you, if not more. Production from the passing game, and he makes 10 times less money, which could have been spread out more on your defensive side. It just shows you, too, also how great of a coach Vic Fangio's been this year and how he's taken that talent that he's gotten, okay, and how he could just take these guys that they drafted and have done all these great things here. I agree with you, Nasty. I don't think Hurts brought anything to the passing game whatsoever. Wait a minute. Wait, I'm going to take that back because I've got to be fair. And I don't want to come off like a hater. Could Saquon Barkley have run for 2,000 yards if Jalen Hurts was not the quarterback of this team? No. No. Could Tanner McKee have given Saquon Barkley the 2,000-yard rushing season if he was the starting quarterback in Philly? No. That dynamic of him being able to run is also the fear that opens up the run game. There's no way Saquon Barkley. Here, I think this is a great asset for Hurts. There is not any way possible Saquon Barkley has the year he has if Hurts is not in that huddle. That I agree with. Maybe at the end of the day, and this is what we're going to be doing here for the playoffs here. This is what we're going to be doing here for the playoffs. Okay? Okay? This is what we could do. If they win the Super Bowl, he's the right fit for what they're doing. I'm just not sure that's sustainable. Okay? I'm just not sure that's sustainable. Oh, by the way, Richard, here's the deal. AJ had 1,500 yards. What did we win? Great take. That is a fantastic take by Richard. This is why we love people like Nasty and Richard. Richard gives me a shit ton all the time. 1,500 yards ain't going to win you a Super Bowl. But I will say this to you, Richard. If 2,000 yards doesn't win you one, will we not think it's the quarterback? What else do you need to know? If you don't win a Super Bowl, having a receiver have 1,500 yards receiving, and then if you turn around this year and you have a running back with 2,000 yards and you don't win it, I mean, this is my favorite time of the year. This is my favorite time of the year. Yes, the run game would 100% decrease without Hurts. Absolutely. I completely agree. Barkley would have been around 1,300 yards this year, 1,400 yards. But that O-line probably in that 1,500-yard range, somewhere in there. That's a great season, by the way. It's a great season. But Hurts helps the other. He helps it a lot. But this is a team that paid A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert. Okay? Just can't be content on 150 yards passing a game. Absolutely true. Brady, 35 of 48 post wins in 23 seasons. Hurts not yet. Hurts most pressure. I like Hurts. Jack of all trades, master of none. Bird's good enough to win the Super Bowl because of the team he's on. Not Hurts around him. But team is a reason for success, not Hurts. I don't think that's fair totally. Okay? I think he contributes to that roster. T-Bone, don't think he doesn't contribute. Okay? And the fact that the defense came around, guys, here's where we are with this. Dude, he is the centerpiece. If you're going to win the Super Bowl, it's not Barkley. It's Jalen Hurts. Just like it's every quarterback in every single playoff market. It's going to come down to the quarterback. This is what we're talking about today. This is not a novelty thing or some sort of Jalen. He's got to be it. Buffalo, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, LA. I can't remember the last time both LA teams made the playoffs. I mean, I don't remember when Los Angeles had two teams make the playoffs. I can't remember that last time that thing happened. Both New York teams are awful, and both LA teams are in the playoffs. Crazy. You all need to stop with the McKee over praising. No. Why would we stop? You should be thankful. Get this. Here's a guy here. He was playing a garbage team in Week 18. Comparing him to Hurts is laughable. Who's comparing him to Hurts? He's a better passer than Hurts. He's not a better quarterback than Hurts. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Overpraising? Oh, I said yesterday he's not ready yet. That guy couldn't win 3 games in a row for you. Hang in there. He needs reps. He needs timing. But he's got a lot of talent. The fuck are you talking about? Hey, don't get so butthurt over your guy, Jalen Hurts, if somebody happens to like another skill set that someone else has. That's absolutely ridiculous. This is not about liking one player or another. This is about liking the best player that can get the job done. And Hurts right now is the guy. This postseason will define the rest of Hurts' career. If he wins a Super Bowl, that'll be 2 Super Bowl appearances in 4 years and 1 win. Absolutely correct. And Chris, I'll be 1,000% wrong. Count your steps when we win the Super Bowl, big guy. Okay. Hey, you can do all the barking you want now, but you have nothing on me right now. Okay? And I have nothing on you except the things that I've said. Sander, if I miss the Super, please let me know. We're in this thing 0-0 right now. Records are 0-0. There's nothing. Tanner McKee, folks, Stop with that. Tanner McKee's not better than Jalen Hurts. Would I feel better with Tanner McKee in the pocket right now as a starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday against the Packers? Absolutely not. Who in their right mind would say that? Does he look like he's got a ton of promise? Yes. Don't get over your skis. Relax. I thought kid playing in his first game, getting the amount of reps he had, thought he was fabulous. Jesus criminy, you guys were on your knees with Carson Wentz, and in 5 years, you guys were shitting all over him. You're going to throw a guy like that out there in a playoff game against Green Bay, having started one game? I might want to pump the brakes on that. I mean, you guys were kissing the ass of Carson Wentz when he was the MVP and runner-up MVP a couple of years back when they won the Super Bowl, and all of a sudden you ended up taking a giant shit on him as he walked out the door, and you knew he wasn't the guy. You might want to hang in there over one game. I mean, and by the way, am I defending Jalen? No, I'm just saying the same thing. Pump the brakes on Tanner. Looks like there's something there. He's got a bigger arm than Hurts. He's a bigger player than Hurts. Okay? But for the record, I mean, he's just got a better pocket presence, it looks like. But one game. This is what I told you about paying Hurts after one season. I'm not a fan of that. I want to see more. Okay? I want to see more. Please hit the like button. I appreciate it. Hey, like I said with these quarterbacks in the playoffs about pressure, Jared Goff has no pressure. Jared Goff has played in 2 conference championship games with 2 different teams and gone to a Super Bowl himself. I'll put it to you this way. If Jared Goff wins the Super Bowl this year, you're going to start talking Hall of Fame. Right? 2 Super Bowl appearances, 3 conference championship appearances, 2 conference championship wins. How are you not going to talk Hall of Fame? With Jared and a guy that I'm not a fan of. If Jared Goff wins the Super Bowl, he's going to be talked about. Hey, Cody, Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Here. Take a look at this with Jared Goff. He's got to win the Super Bowl, I'm saying. You can't just keep putting up these Kirk Cousins numbers. Now, he wins more than Dak. Okay? How about this? Like I said, this guy is he's the second most accomplished quarterback in the NFC right now next to Matthew Stafford. And the only reason Stafford's got an under 500 record as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Take a look at what Jared Goff has done in his career. And if Jared Goff wins the Super Bowl, here, take a look at it. You tell me if this guy wins the Super Bowl this year. Jared Goff has got 35,000 passing yards, 222 touchdowns, and 94 picks. He's thrown for $4,000, 46.88 and 32 touchdowns, 46.38 and 30 touchdowns, 4,000 yards and 25 touchdowns, 45.38 and 30 touchdowns, 45.75 and 30 touchdowns. This year, he's thrown for 46.29 and he's thrown for 37 touchdowns. And by the way, for the record, this guy's one of the most accurate guys there is. 72.4, 67.3, 68.1, 67.2, 67. I mean, he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks, and his touchdown to interception ratio is off the charts. He wins the Super Bowl. You're going to talk about him being a Hall of Fame candidate. I mean, who's more accomplished in the NFC? He is easily one of the most accomplished. He might be the second most accomplished quarterback, postseason-wise and yardage-wise, in football. Okay? In football. You missed what I said, Akbar. 2 conference championship games. 2 conference championship wins. 3 appearances. In a Super Bowl win. And when he's retired, he'll retire with about 60,000 passing yards. I don't know. I mean, what's not to like about his postseason? And he's got another How many Pro Bowls? How many Pro Bowls does this guy have now in his career? Dude, I'm telling you, Jared Goff has put together a hell of a resume. He's put together a hell of a resume. And if he closes it out and he wins, here. Okay, he's got 5 Pro Bowls. He's got 2 conference titles. He's led the NFL in passing attempts, completion percentage. This guy's top 5 in every single statistic and category there is. Okay. Hey, Xander, if I missed a super, please let me know. Okay. Kansas City. You know what Mahomes is playing against? History. History. If Patrick Mahomes closes the deal and wins a 3rd Super Bowl, it'll be the greatest accomplishment by a quarterback in NFL history during the Super Bowl era. No quarterback has ever won 3 in a row. And if that is something Tom Brady hasn't done, it must be grand, especially in the postseason. And it'll be his 4th. Bradshaw, Brady, and Montana are the only guys with 4 or more. It'll be the greatest accomplishment. No team, the Dolphin teams, the Bills teams, the Cowboy teams, the Patriot teams, nobody's won 3 in a row. Okay, nobody. And that puts a stamp on Andy Reid. That you could make the argument he's right there with Belichick. Josh Allen has to have a Super Bowl to validate that talent. He is arguably the most talented quarterback, him and Lamar, in pro football. And he's got to validate it with the championship. I'm shocked Buffalo's where they are. Buffalo should be a 9-win team. They had $70 million in the offseason cap casualties that they had to get rid of because they were over the cap so much. I can't believe they're where they are with the amount of wins they have. And they're in the 2-hole in the AFC. That just shows you the greatness of Allen. I cannot believe they're where they are. And here, some of you are saying Buffalo's probably going to lose. Buffalo could lose any week. If Allen doesn't have a superstar game, they lose. And sometimes even when he has a superstar game, they lose. They're just not good enough. Of all the football contending teams of these 5, Josh Allen has the worst roster of any of the quarterbacks. Allen has the worst roster. Hurts has the best roster. Okay? That's not an excuse. Those are facts. It's not an excuse. Okay? That's why I do not believe Josh Allen can win 4 in a row, because I just don't think he has a good enough team to do it. I think Josh Allen could throw for 450 yards and lose. And his defense give up 500 yards. I just don't think they can do it. Hit the like button. I appreciate you guys coming aboard here, please. And by the way, like I said, all supers go to the top. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I mean, look, this postseason is all on Hurts. Jalen Hurts will be defined by this offseason or postseason. He'll be defined by it. He won't escape it. He'll be defined. He enters the postseason 2-3, having made the Super Bowl and had a great Super Bowl game. A divisional game and conference title game, underwhelming. The first year starting was against Brady and the Bucs. It's what it is. A rookie starting. You know, not everybody's Jordan Love or CJ Stroud like a year ago. Not everybody's like that. I get it. When you had announcers like Troy Aikman screaming at him, the guy's wide open, throw it. Okay? So I don't really kill him so much for losing to Tampa. They won a Super Bowl, I think, that year. Okay? But Jalen's got big pressure. Because everything that I've talked about and brought up, M. Reyes is going to have a tough day. And all of you will have a tough day. In a very tough offseason. Either you are or I am. See, Nick, that's called pushing all your chips in. Not playing it safe. I don't play it safe. Okay? I don't. Seals, you were wrong. I know. I know. I'm man enough to take it. Will you be? Single elimination. Let's get it on. God dang. Just like Marvin says, let's get it on. Woo! Yeah, let's get it on. Come on, baby. Give me some of that love. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. I'm not talking to you, Red Bottoms. Who don't like Marvin Gaye? If you don't like Marvin Gaye, get the fuck off this show. Okay? Get that guy off the show. If you don't like Marvin Gaye, get out. I will never speak to you again. If you don't like Marvin Gaye, let's get it on. Yeah. Let's get it on. You. Let's get it on. Yes, sir, baby. One Super Bowl, Sills. Come on now. Right? Yeah. Oh. Oh, man. Hey, M. Reyes. You don't get mulligans here. That's why I like John McMullen and Xander kind of like, not Xander so much, but John, Minnesota. I'm like, I don't know. I'd rather get the shit kicked out of me in the final game of the year than in the playoffs. That's New York, what they did with that ass kicking in New England. It got them in a Super Bowl and beat them. We love Marvin. Just don't sing them. Let's get it on. That's the theme this week. Let's get it on. Yeah. Sugar. Yes, sir, baby. Let's get it on. Seals, hey, Flexion. Seals, you can't read or sing. Love you, Fatty. Fatty. Hey, Flexion. I know that Big Sills has put some weight on here over the last 35 years. Do you understand that at one time, this physique that's been lost, like the land of the lost, my old body, when they dig it up one day, Sue, when they dig it up, this guy was 285 pounds with 11% body fat. How's that possible? I don't know. I have no idea. That guy ran 4.8s also? Yeah. That guy benched 605? Yeah. That guy had a 28 vertical? Yeah. All that. My daughter goes online and takes a look. She goes, I can't believe that's you. I go, I know. I limp now. Okay? I limp now. Yes. Oh. Hey, I saw Demi at the Golden Globes. She looked tight. Yeah, 28 vertical. By the way, Big C. If you would like receipts, Big Sills will post it. The Miami Herald posted my 28 vertical at 290 pounds. How you doing? There was a time when Big Sills could slam dunk a Nerf ball. I couldn't get my hand around the basketball. I could palm it, but not get it up there and slam it. But I used to slam dunk a Nerf ball. Hey, get it on you, baby. Let's get it on. Yeah. Sugar. Let's get it on. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Let's see here. Sometimes I could just bring it up. How you doing? Thank you, Sue. Yeah, sometimes I can. I'm trying. Hey, by the way, I'm trying to get a hold of Eric Allen for you. Okay, here it is. Here, I'll post this for you. Miami defensive standout. Oh, it was 27 vertical. Damn. At 290 pounds. Yeah, shit. Save to phone. And if you want to see the Miami Herald article, I think I was 20 years old when I did this. So I'm going to post it for you to go over and see. The Herald wrote it. And there's 3 people in here who called me a liar, and I always hate that. And I love having receipts. Big Sills, and I'll just post it this way. JAKIB, Big Sills, 27 vertical. Is that cool? And I'll put Miami Herald because it's their story. There we go. Bang. These are for all the liars. It's not posted, so you can go over to my X account at Dan Sileo Show. How you doing? 27 vertical, 290 fucking pounds, 4.840. How you doing? Liar? All you got to do is go over there and take a look at it. I was the strongest player on the Miami Hurricane team that won the national championship, which meant I was the most athletic. Let's get it on. Sugar. Let's get it on. Stop glazing yourself. You got the wrong guy. Well, hey, how could I be a liar if I just posted it? How in the world could I be a liar if I just posted it? How in the world could I be a liar if I just posted this? Sileo, you're lying. I guess the Miami Herald's lying then too, right? Sileo's lying. Here it is right here. This was talking about my career being in jeopardy because I graduated. Let's see here. I was 292. Sileo launched his 292 pounds, 27 straight up from a standing start. His bench press, I stopped at 500. I hurt myself that season. He's the team's best power component on the team that year. That's a team with Michael Irvin. That's a team with Russell Maryland. That's a team with Cortez Kennedy. I was the best athlete on the team that year. How you doing? Now, So, Flex, this goes back to you calling me fatty. Okay? How you doing? It's there for you to take a look at. And you guys can all marvel. Big Sills was an athlete? Yeah. Long time ago, I was an athlete. Hit that damn like button there. All right. Top 10 is here. We always do this. This is the final one, though. Okay? This is the final. Hey, Flexin, thank you very much for making Sills have to go back in the past and find something that people would never believe. Do you understand what a 27 vertical is at 300 pounds? Guys in the draft today didn't do that. Find out what Jordan Davis did. I'll bet you mine's a better. He ran faster than me. He did. He ran faster. I couldn't believe 4.78 at that size and height. Okay? That's what makes him crazy. Okay? Oh, I was 27. I thought I had a 28. Playoff prediction. Philly beats Green Bay. Tampa Bay beats Minnesota. Oh, no. Tampa Bay wins. Minnesota beats LA. Philly beats Minnesota. Tampa Bay beats Detroit. The NFC Championship game is Philadelphia versus the Bucs. You better hope that don't happen because the Bucs own you. The Bucs own you. You better hope that ain't the case. The Tampa Bay. You better hope. Yes, sir, baby. Lions coach Dan Campbell said that David Montgomery will be ready for the divisional round. Woo! Okay? Woo! How you doing? Holy cow. We're going to get to the coordinators here in a second. I love when Vic Fangio speaks. I really do. I love when he talks. Okay? We would play Bucs in the divisional. Their team. We can't get the Bucs in the title game. He's correct. Because seeding, the top seeds get that. That's right. Not this time, Big Sills. Not this time. There you go. Look at this. M. Reyes. Bucs are dead meat. Fucking beat them. Receipts. I have receipts. Receipts. Where's Vic? I love listening to Vic Fangio. Here we go. Here's Vic. Let's get to Vic and Kellen today. By the way, new topic before we read this. Uh-oh. We have a problem, Philly. We have a problem for this. What's the biggest problem you think you have heading into Sunday's game against Green Bay? What do you think your biggest problem is heading into Sunday's game? Ooh, wow. D. What do you mean, D, by coaching? I like that Jake Elliott one. Pass rush is good. Look at you guys. Kicker, quarterback, slow starts. Fucking great. You guys are ready, man. Honest to God, all kidding aside, you're ready. Concussed. Slow start hurts. Coaching. Quarterback guy's a great play caller. LaFleur, he is. Passing game. Guys, hey, D, follow up what you mean by coaching. Ooh. Where did I see that? Distraction? I don't know about you, but if Fox News called me and told me they were going to put me on after Hannity or before Hannity, I'd be like this. I'd be showing up the next day going, wow, really? Really? Or if I was getting a network television show, okay, I'd be like, let's just put you in this. Whatever profession you're in, think of the grandest job you could possibly have in your profession. You wouldn't be distracted? Something that you've worked your entire life for? You were fired twice in the previous 2 stops. And now there's also a rumor that he's going to be interviewed by the Chicago Bears. I wouldn't be shocked if the Jags reached out to him. So right now it's just Saints, but I think the Bears are. So you're going to have Saints and Bears interviewing Kellen Moore. I'm not saying it's not normal. Last time you had a coach and coaches interview for jobs, one guy forgot the main job he was doing while he was coaching your defense. Is it a distraction? Not in Philly. Well, it was in 22. Why wouldn't it be now? Are you suggesting that you don't think if a guy was offered an opportunity and a serious candidate to become the head football coach of the New Orleans Saints, that you're not thinking about that job with your family? $10 million a year? Generational wealth? Something you aspired to be since you came into the league as a coach? I don't fucking know what you're talking about. Oh, because we're the Eagles, he won't think about that. What do you, human nature, my friends. Human nature. Now you got another distract. Boy, I'll tell you, man, Philadelphia gives you the juice. I thought you guys were boring. No way. There's always something new. Okay? There's always something new. So wait a minute here. Watch this. I'm going to show you what a guy does when he's being pursued as a head coach. Okay? Boy, I'll tell you what. Kellen Moore in New Orleans with Alvin Kamara. They'd probably get a different quarterback in the room. A drop back guy. They're not getting a dual threat. He ain't coaching that style of foot. Hey, by the way, you think if Kellen Moore gets a head coaching job somewhere, you think he's going to get somebody like Hurts? Fucking no way. No way. He might even trade for Tanner McKee. He might even trade for him. Hey, get this. So this is what you're doing. Yeah, let's see if we can run this play against Green Bay and that banjo coverage that they have. Yeah. Let's see if we can do. What do you think? You know, yeah. Let's see if we can do that. Wayne Larrivee will join us at 3:30. The voice of the Green Bay Packers will join us. I'm gonna say. Oh, hang on. I got to get this. It's the Saints and Mickey Loomis. Hey, Mickey, how you doing? Know Mickey well, by the way. Good friend. Love him. Yeah. What are you doing? I'm game planning right now for the Packers. Can an interview? Well, it would have to be Zoom. Yeah, okay. I'll take a little time away from here. You know, as soon as we get done with this, I'll do a Zoom call with you. Is that cool? Yeah. Yeah, I wait a minute. I got a meeting after. Just that time right there, you're wasting time. Just that little bit of time right there, you're wasting. Woo! Another dynamic to have to worry about. Okay? NFL, as usual, always horrible operation decisions. I hate it too, T. I fucking hate that you get a chance to talk to assistant coaches during the playoffs and while the playoffs are going on. I find that to be completely inappropriate. And you know why it's inappropriate? It's inappropriate because you've got players in the room that are going for a world championship. And you got coaches that get the ability to be distracted with something that has no bearing on them in the room and your ultimate achievement. Him being interviewed for the Saints job, and I'm not saying Kellen's doing this, and I do think it's an NFL bullshit move, and I hate it. I totally hate it. I do. Hey, man, guess what I would be doing? If I were the Dallas Cowboys, I would try to interview Kellen Moore to be the head coach. Why? A division opponent? I'd like to fucking distract the Eagles. If I was the New York Giants, if they had fired Brian Daboll, I would be going after Kellen Moore. I would be doing as much as I possibly could to distract the Eagles in winning a Super Bowl. What do you think? These guys are all like rooting for Kellen to win the Super Bowl? They might be rooting for Kellen. They're not rooting for the Eagles. Okay? Our starters ready for this first round playoff. Dean and Bond. It's a good question. I think you got, and without no Brandon Graham out there, again, first, Dean's been in the game, though, a little bit, and he's been around these guys. So being in the playoffs is not going to be an uncommon place for him. Okay? Right? All I'm saying is this, guys, am I worried about Kellen Moore being distracted? Here's why I'm worried about his idle time being distracted. You know what I'm saying? If you're sitting here doing something, and how many times have you taken phone calls while you're in the middle of doing something very important and you forget your train of thought? Right? You're sitting there thinking about something, you're writing something down, you're putting a letter down, you're writing your resume. Shit, man. Writing a phone call can distract you on just writing your resume out. What do you think that does if you're sitting there and you're having a conversation about potentially being the head football coach of a football team that's not the Eagles? Do I think they bench Hurts if he plays terrible? No. I do not think that. Dude, guys, stop with this Tanner McKee shit. He's a good-looking prospect. He's a prospect. Don't go there. I'm not. Hey, I had a lot of fun with it on Sunday and Monday, but don't go there. This guy's not under any short leash or what have you. It's his ball game. You are tied to Jalen Hurts no matter what. He has a no trade. And you got 3 more years of massive cap casualty if you fucking decide to try to do something. So don't go crazy. This is your guy. 2903, 18 touchdowns. This is your dude for the next 3 years. I don't care how many Tanner McKees you end up drafting. It doesn't matter. You can't trade him. Do you understand? Jalen Hurts is untradeable. You know why? He controls his own fate. We want to see if we hypothetically say he starts shit in the bed like Carson Wentz. Tough shit. Tough shit, Philly fan. You pay him and you keep him. Or you cut him and you owe him all that money. This thing's got to work. Pat goes, he's not tradable yet. Who said he was? You're 14-3. Who fucking said? I never said that. But I see people with this. You think, Sills, do you think he's on it? No. Do I think it's 10 out of 10 now? And by the way, The problem that you get in here, though, when we see people in here, you say a guy played great and he's a quarterback. All these Hurts guys go, well, not all it is glazing over Tanner McKee. What do you fucking care? Jalen Hurts is here for the next 3 years, no matter what. If he sucks, if he's a Hall of Fame, no matter what. No matter if Joe Montana comes out of retirement or Tom Brady comes out of retirement. Doesn't matter. He's going nowhere. You've never heard me say trade Hurts, have you? You know why? Because it's not a reality. I'm going to play Tanner. Tanner looks already better. Fucking, what's the point? There is no point. You don't have one. The conversation will then go to, did we pay him too soon? And that other shit that I've been saying, yeah. That's why I'm saying this. LFG, baby. This offseason and preseason and the postseason are all going to define him. This 1 year, he's either going to validate what he's done, and I'll say it one more time to you also. Okay? Jalen Hurts has been pulled before on a good team. Alabama was just the only team that could do it. Philly can't. She'll say, I'm worried about the passing because Moore is not the guy for Jalen. They both have benefited from Barkley. Is that the domino that hurts the Eagles? I don't know yet, man. We got to see this play Sunday. Remember something, Jalen? What were Jalen's numbers in that first Green Bay game? I thought he threw for 262, if I'm not mistaken. And I think if it were 380 or 280 or something, but he had 2 turnovers in the ball game. I forget what the line was. I thought it was 2 TDs and 2 turnovers in the ball game. Get this. This guy, elite. How's a guy elite with 2,900 passing yards? Shit, a guy at St. Joe's Prep had 20. I bet you a guy this. Hey, do me a favor, Xander. Xander, I may have missed a super. Hey, do me a favor, somebody. Find out what the passing numbers were at St. Joe's Prep in Philly. And tell me if he had more than 2,903 this year. I'd be interested in that. If he had more than 2,903. Okay? Elite. 2,903 in 14 games. Oh, okay. Doesn't matter. Thought he was going to go for 4,600 yards and not in that. Sills, why does it matter if Kellen is being offered a job when we have one of the worst passing offenses in the league? I'd like to keep Kellen for consistency, but he could leave. Here's why, Abe. Here's what Kellen Moore did that is attractive. He knew the quarterback wasn't good enough, so he adapted on the fly with the personnel that's in the huddle. And if I'm a owner and I'm a general manager, that's exactly how I looked at his season. Kellen Moore had a great year. Hurts had the bad year. Kellen won 14 ball games. An offensive coordinator's job is to win games, not fucking put stats in the board. That's a coordinator's job. And he did his job. He found the best guy in the huddle to win him games, and he went with Barkley. I have my theory. What is yours? Most critical area for Hurts to improve is spreading the ball around. Do you think he can greatly improve in the next 3 years? No. No, I do not. I don't think he has a skill set for that. I think he struggles in the pocket. I think he has horrible pocket presence, hence the sacks. He took more sacks this year instead of turnovers, which probably is the lesser of the evil. 38 sacks. Get this, M. Reyes. He had 38 sacks in 14 games. How many sacks this year did Josh Allen take on his team? And there's a one-man wrecking crew. Just curious. Let me just take a look at that. Dual threat guy. I'll take a look at Lamar, too. So here are the guys who had the most sacks this year. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Where's Jalen? Jalen Hurts was 11th. 15 games, 14 games if you want to go there. He had 38 sacks and 361 attempts. By far one of the worst ratios. I mean, check this out. Joe Burrow threw the ball 652 times and had 48 sacks. And where's Josh Allen? Here, let's take a look at Lamar. Where's Lamar in sacks? Wow. Lamar Jackson threw the ball 474 times, had 23 sacks. Let's see Josh Allen. Josh Allen threw the ball almost 500 times, 483, had 14 sacks. Josh Allen by far has way more pocket presence and understands the pocket. And even to that extent, Lamar does. He gets it. Hurts is terrible in the pocket. He holds the ball too long. He doesn't see open receivers. He struggles in there, and he takes off running right. It's a standard operating procedure and how limited he is. He has an intangible. Here's my scouting and being honest. What do you like about Hurts? Let's do that. He's a great athlete. He's got a great desire to win. He never gives up. He could have 17 bad plays and then one play will win the game. And that's an innate thing you can't coach in a player. There's guys that will, like Dak, fold. They'll make 17 plays in the 18th play to win the game. He won't. That's something that he does have that is attractive. Okay? It is. He's tough. He's a great runner. Okay? He's one of the better runners. And I would say this too. He's one of the best RPO quarterbacks I've ever seen in his decision-making when he's in that RPO. I think he does a great job running that RPO. He has a clutch gene, if that's what that's called, sure. But he's got an innate ability. He can make 5 bad plays, and he's going to hang in there. How about this? He doesn't get defeated mentally like Wentz did. He does not get defeated. Okay? Here's the poor things. He's terrible pocket presence. He's not very accurate. He's accurate enough. The deep passing game doesn't win Super Bowls. So whatever, he's got a strong arm. I heard Phil Simms. Okay. I guess that matters. He's very predictable. He's going to roll right always because he feels more comfortable athletically rolling right. He's a relentless competitor. Yeah. That's what I kind of just said. But at the end of the day, when it comes to his pocket being a pocket passer, he's one of the more limited guys in the league. Like, he's the worst quarterback of anybody in the playoffs of any of the teams that have made the playoffs. Maybe he's better than Russell. Right now, he's probably better than Russell Wilson as a pocket passer. Okay? Wilson's on the back nine now. Early Russell Wilson, he was spectacular. When he had Marshawn Lynch. You know, as much as Xander and I love Najee Harris, that ain't Marshawn Lynch. Okay? I mean, just talking about, his ability in the pocket. Think about that. Josh Allen had almost 500 attempts and passes, had 14 sacks. This guy played in 3 less games, and he had almost 160 less attempts. And he took 3 times as many sacks. What's that tell you? Not very good in the pocket. That's kind of what he is. The Eagles' offense is a Lamborghini. They have an 8-year-old behind the wheel. He drives it fast. It can go from A to B, but it's hitting all the cars parked on the side of the road along the way. That's not quite true, but I get your reference and I get what you mean. I don't know why I felt early on his passing was not as bad. Get this, and I'll explain to this, Khalid, at all. And he got good moon balls and was pretty pinpoint in the throws. I don't know what made him regress. What made him regress is that people started getting tape on him and started seeing but let me ask you something here. Like today, let me show you what Vic Fangio said about guys. Or Nick said about Vic. He was asked the other day about Vic Fangio. And he said this. He goes, Vic sits there, breaks down game film. And he looks 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 and he looks. Look at this. Daz goes, he looked great in the Steeler game. He looked great in the Super Bowl. He didn't look good in the playoffs that year. And he didn't look good this year. Okay. Tanner McKee looked good in the Giant game with backups. Okay. I mean, by the way, the numbers dictate it. And everybody in Philly has an excuse for his numbers being down. You know what it is? Saquon took it away from him. That's not true. They run the ball in Detroit. They run the ball in Baltimore. They run the ball in Green Bay. There's no excuses there. They spread the ball around. Only place they don't spread the ball around is Philly. And you paid two guys to spread the ball around too. But you'll make an excuse that it was Barkley's fault that Jalen's numbers and the passing game are down this year. That's asinine. That's ridiculous. By the way, Wayne Larrivee, the voice of the Packers, is going to join us. That'll be at the bottom of the hour. Packers on Sunday. Should be a pretty damn good football game. I think it's going to be a better game than what you guys think. Okay? Hey, wait a minute here. Let me see what Anthony. I've never seen a guy who has won 50 games in 4 years take as much crap. Anthony, did I say something that's not true? He's not good in the pocket. He takes a ton of sacks. He's not a prolific passer. The passing game has regressed. What am I saying that's wrong? I'm not sure. Hey, by the way, Jimmy Garoppolo took a ton of shit, and people said he was a product of the system. Oh, I see. That doesn't pertain to him, though, Hurts. That he's a product of the roster. Let me see what Jimmy Garoppolo's record was in San Francisco when everyone was calling him, and like you guys say, Brock Purdy. Let's do Brock Purdy. Let me ask you guys this question. Let me ask you guys this about Brock Purdy. You think Brock Purdy could go somewhere else and do the things that Brock Purdy's done? Pretty much has done early in his career, the same length of time, because you guys don't want to put Jalen Hurts next to Jared Goff because their Goff has been in the league more. Let's do Brock Purdy. Do you think Brock Purdy could go to the Giants and do what he did in New York? Do what he did in San Francisco. Do you think he could do that in New York? Brock Purdy had a pretty good year. No? What do you mean, no? According to Anthony, wait a minute here. According to Anthony, Jalen Hurts takes a lot of shit for winning a lot of games. Well, let's take a look at this, what Brock Purdy's done in his short time. Brock Purdy's record. Brock Purdy is 23-13. He is 4-2 in the playoffs. This year, he threw for 3,800 yards, 20 touchdowns, 66 completion percentage. Didn't have a great year. He's 23-13. Jeez. I've never seen a guy take more shit in my life. For a guy that wins, won an NFC championship, actually done more than Hurts in his early career. He's played in 2 conference title games. Albeit he got knocked out third play. Is he not a product of the wins there in San Francisco? Or is it just Hurts? What's different? See, Anthony thinks that because Hurts has won these games, he's the reason they've won the game. He's not the reason they've won the games. The roster's the reason they've won the games. He's a good fit for what they have done with the roster. That's what he is. Here, I'll give you another example. I'll do Brock Purdy here in a minute. Assessment of Hurts was perfect. Bird's unlikely to win a Super Bowl. Anything is possible. Absolutely, especially with the run game. Many intangibles, injuries. Absolutely, all of that is true. Also, four powerhouse teams. Remember the 93 Bills? Absolutely, no question. So let's take a look at Garoppolo. To Anthony's point. I go to Jimmy Garoppolo. Don't forget, Wayne Larravee's going to join us. Here's Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's see what, to Anthony's point. And was Garoppolo, let's see, he won an NFC title, got to a Super Bowl. Let's see what his record was. Okay. So in 6 years, Anthony, 6 years, Jimmy Garoppolo's record was 38-17. Taking a team to a Super Bowl. Won an NFC title. He ends up leaving. He's 2-0 in New England. That was before. 3-3 with the Raiders. Now he's a backup with the Rams. What happened? Was he a product of the San Francisco system? How come Jimmy Garoppolo is not the quarterback? Was he a product of San Francisco? Yeah. So when you talk about Hurts' winning, I could bring up numerous guys that have won and has done the same pretty much things that Hurts has done. He got an NFC title. Purdy's got an NFC title. But if you put those guys on different ball clubs, are they going to do the same thing? No. Only the great. Look at Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson thought he was going to beat Tom Brady and go to Denver. It was a shit show. Aaron Rodgers thought he was just going to pick up in Green Bay and, even albeit he's 41, and go to New York. Well, that don't work. Not everybody's Tom Brady. That ain't going to work like that. They build a system around you with the team around you in mind. Jalen Hurts goes to Chicago. He's no better than Justin Fields. It's a good point about Mayfield. Look at Angelo here on Mayfield. How would you feel if the Eagles bring in Doug as an associate in a playoff run? That would never happen. They don't want to do any of that. Angelo brings up an absolutely fabulous point. Angelo, let me ask you this. Do you think Cleveland would like to have Baker Mayfield back? Cleveland quit on him. Do you think Carolina would like to have Mayfield back? Do you think, maybe not the Rams, they're good with Stafford. What did I just name to you? All shitty franchises who don't know how to develop quarterbacks. Did you see that the offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers is now being interviewed for, I think, the Jags job? Do you understand? You want to hear something? That's the first year he's been a coordinator. Did you hear what I said? Kellen Moore has been a coordinator how many years? The first year offensive coordinator who took over for Dave Canales. He's never been a coordinator in his life. He's interviewing for the Jags job. I think it's Xander at 3:30. And then we're going to get Wayne at 4:30. So I'm backwards here a little bit here. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit that like button here. O-line didn't trust Hurts in the pocket. That's not what that is. They were getting killed because he needed 6 seconds before letting go of the ball and then turning it over. So the coach told him to run. Well, here, listen. when you have a dual threat guy, those are the hardest guys in the world to block for. Do you know why that O-line played so well against the Giants this past weekend? You know exactly where Tanner McKee is. You know exactly. He's in the pocket, 6 steps. He's not getting out of there. They're easier to block for because you know where he is. Okay? You know where he is. In the pocket. Yeah, Xander's going to join us here in a couple seconds here. And then Wayne Larrivee at 4:30 Eastern. My bad. We'll get into what Vic had a conversation of. And hey, listen. How good do I feel going into this weekend versus the Packers? I'll let you know here in a second. Okay? I do. So hopefully Wednesday comes around and we find out a little bit more about Jalen Hurts. And by the way, I don't really need to know anything. He's playing Sunday. I'm with John. It's stupid shit right now. It's just like dumb gamesmanship. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you anything. Why not? Just go like this. He's going to, hey, what are you afraid of? You really think that's gamesmanship with Green Bay? You think Matt LaFleur and those guys are not preparing for Jalen Hurts? Come on, man. Stupid shit. All right. Without further ado, here we are, baby. Red Stew. LFG. I'm either going to be right or wrong. Okay? Hey, come on. Big Sills puts his ass on the line. You know what? Some broadcasters like to straddle that fence. I ain't talking about my boy. But a lot of people like to sit on that fence. You know what happens when you sit on the fence? Hey. End up getting the couillons ruined. All right. Co-host of Birds 365. What a weekend this baby's going to be. He is the one and only Big Z, Xander Kraus.
What's up, Big Sills?
How you doing and how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, brother. Good first hour and a half of the show. It was a good one. You're on fire today, Big Sills.